survivor. I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.
And look who I'm being joined by this morning. So darn bright and early.
I wanted to have coffee with you. I thought it was sweet.
So I'm just going to tell everybody what you did to my phone before you left. And I thought that was...
I didn't do anything to your phone.
I think it was uncalled for that you went by and set stupid alarms for me. I can set my own alarms. I don't need you to set my alarms. When you tell me to wake up at a certain time to get the chores done, hey, at my age, I am responsible enough to wake up and do said chores at said time. However, this morning, for no apparent reason, at 5:30, my alarm goes off on my phone. And I thought it was the fire alarm because I'm in a drunken stumper, not from drinking, obviously, but my medications have not wore off yet. So I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. Mabel hauled ass. Mabel was laying between my legs, and Mabel hauled ass. And I'm like, what is that noise? What's that noise? And then I realized you had set my alarms. And I'm like, the hell?
It's a joyful noise.
The hell? It's not. No. The morning alarm on my phone is not a joyful noise. And it scared me. It scared me really bad. Anyway, I roll over and I see what time it is. And then I realize what you had done. And then if that's not bad enough, 30 seconds later, I get a text. Are you awake? Are you awake? And I'm like, God darn it. I think I said a curse word. I'm not a cursing type of person, but I do believe I said a couple of choice curse words. I had no time to wake myself up the way I like to. And I don't mean the wakey expression. I like to slowly wake up and just ease into my day.
If I could have figured out the timer on the coffee pot, I would have set that. But
I could have smelt the coffee and woke up.
Yeah, that was a fail on my part. I ran out of time. Sorry.
Yes. Someone goes, oh, hell. What the hell? I don't know. Can you read the comments on your end?
I can.
Well, tell everybody where you're at, what you're doing, what's going on.
I am in Greenville, South Carolina for work. This is like the big it's like final part of the year, but also the big push into next year. So it's very ceremonial, but also very important. So I have today all day meetings and a dinner like event directly following. So there's not even like a break. Like normally they'll like schedule everybody go back to the hotel, be changed. No, we all have to stay in business attire and go straight from the meetings to whatever dinner event is planned. And then tomorrow meetings and then fly home tomorrow. So not terrible, but fly home tomorrow night. My issue is that there's only one flight out tomorrow night, which I'm on, but Houston is going to be getting some really horrific weather. And I am just terrified of what might
have a delay.
Mm-hmm. And if it's delayed or canceled, then it'll be to the next day. And I don't like that.
Well, that's not good. Are you at the same place last year? You took a walk along the park?
I am, but let me show you why I'm not walking along the park right now.
No, because I know last year on this day, you walked out along the park and went live along the little pond and the little river.
It was summer though.
Oh, that was.
It was this time. It was only like 6 or 8 months ago, something like that. Anyway, it's 28 degrees out. I'm sorry. I'm not walking. It's also dark, but I'm not going for a walk this morning. My walk will be directly to the parking garage. I got in last night, and a lot of people from my company live in Houston, and we were all on the same flight, which is kind of neat because, like, even though you're coming to the meetings, all of a sudden you're at the airport at the gate and you're like, oh, hey, there's somebody I haven't seen in months. There's another person, you know, and like everybody just sort of gathers up. And nobody like talks about that before, or nobody's like, I'll see you at the gate. You know, like there's no strategy. It's just kind of a surprise of who's actually on your flight.
Yeah.
And last night I got nervous because after we landed and I'm coming off the plane, my boss hurries up and catches up to me and goes, you want to ride with me? And I'm like, oh no. Because you just never know why your boss hurried up and caught up to you intentionally to make you ride with them. Now,
was he trying to make you pay for the ride?
Right? Well, you're thinking to yourself like he was intentional about that. So like, what does he want to talk to me about? Because everybody else rented, the other people on the we have in the company, certain levels of people are the ones who rent cars, and I am at that level, but I never do because there number one, there weren't any cars for me to rent, but number two, because when you park at this parking garage, it is the tiniest parking spaces, and I didn't want to deal with it. I would rather just Uber and know that other people were, you know, all the leaders are coming, so I knew there would be a ride. I just didn't know that my boss would intentionally seek me out to get it, like, because you want to ride, because it's like a 30-minute ride from the airport. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get fired. Like, I don't know why, but I'm gonna get fired.
So were you biting your nails the whole time, sitting there clenching your hands under your lap, just like, oh sheesh, what's
I made comments about the rental car and how nice it was, and asked about things. I like tried to keep the conversation just on fire about anything other than me. So
this is cute. Grammy T says Lester's thinking, wonder what he looks like.
He's met my boss.
I've met most of Jamie's co-workers. I've met most of them. They're nice people. They're wonderful guys. Now, I mean, they're still men. Don't get me wrong. Men are men, y'all. Men are men. And Lester obviously always thinks that. But
ain't nobody doing any of that mess. Nothing like that.
Another comment. I don't know if you saw it. I already took it off the screen, but it says, I can't wait to see what Lester has planned for girls' night.
Me too.
And yeah, I do have something planned for tonight for Timeout Tuesday. I've already begun to make preparations for it. I've got a confirmation from a couple of people. I even have a location set up. I will say this, ladies, it's not chair dancing. So if that's what you got in mind, we're not chair dancing, okay? Or pole dancing, I mean. We're not pole dancing. But we do have...
That would be something.
We do have a fun Timeout Tuesday set up in your honor as you're being away, and we'll make sure that happens. And so what are your plans this morning? So my time, it's just now 6 a.m. So you are at 7 a.m. I'm guessing your meetings start at 8?
I do. Okay.
And then you said you'll be there all day. So there's not hardly any downtime.
So my presentation personally is at 4:00. So I have an hour that starts at 4. So I have to like nail bite the whole day and overthink and rethink. And this is what's terrible. While everybody else is going through their stuff, I will be like taking notes from theirs. And then when there's bathroom breaks, I will rush to go to the bathroom, and then I'll come back and like make notes on my slides or like do things because I want to incorporate everything that was discussed all day too. So it's kind of nice to be able to hear other people first and then be able to play into what was liked or not go down a path if something was disliked all day. But it's also terrible because you're at the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So being at the end, people are probably sick and tired and ready to go home, ready to go eat, ready to just get out of their clothes, take their shoes off and stuff. Yeah, I can kind of get that.
So you have this like balance of like, you need to be really entertaining and very like, you need to be focused on what's really important, and everything that you thought was important before this meeting may not even be there by the time that you get to you, because there are 7 other people that go before me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a long day.
Oh man. Well, you look pretty. You got all done up and everything. Got your hair all pretty, your pearls, everything.
Except for look. So I have like all of this like short hair. I don't know if that's from horses eating my hair or what, but I have alfalfa naders. Do you know who alfalfa is?
Yeah, from the Little Rascals.
You had to think about that for a little bit, didn't you?
No, whenever you say alfalfa, I'm thinking, did I put alfalfa out yesterday? Alfalfa, my mind directly goes to what did I not do? What did I do? What did I not do? What did I do?
Well, Roman doesn't let you forget about alfalfa.
No, he does not.
So tell me, what did you do yesterday?
Well, I promise I don't have bedhead. That's for sure. But it was a very busy day. A lot of people were able to witness the barn erecting. I like to say that. I don't know why. But
you're Lester.
Huh?
Because you're Lester.
But no, the barn's going up. I got there to the JL Ranch just in time to see the fellas actually on the lift and putting the big columns and stuff. And I don't know if you know this, but we have given it the nickname or the name, the Colosseum.
That's fitting.
And, yes, for the Roman Colosseum.
That's fitting.
And then it's going to be cute. I've also sent a message to Uriel. Let me see if I can find it. I'll go ahead and give anyone who's watching right now can have a heads up on this. You guys know that Jamie and I paid for Uriel to learn how to weld. And welding means also cutting and doing things. So I asked Uriel if he could make us a couple of these. Do you see what that is?
Yeah.
That's like a Roman helmet from the Romans.
Oh boy.
So not only will Uriel make us the real pretty JL sign with the heart in the middle that we'll put on the front, but I thought we could also put two of these facing each other, but on the back side. So you wouldn't see it from the road necessarily.
Okay.
Well,
I think it's cute.
It wouldn't go along with the other barns. I want it to all go along, but from the back side, the angle that we'll get most of our videos from, when we walk up to Roman's barn, we'll be able to see the Roman, the
true Colosseum,
the Roman helmets, and we will remember that it's that particular barn is called the Colosseum.
That's clever.
I will also share one more secret with the folks who are watching this morning, because you're so kind to be up so early with us. But and Jamie, there's 2,500 people watching. I'm crazy. I thought it might say 25 because my eyes are not seeing real well. But I will go ahead and let you all know, since you're watching now, that I did ask the fella yesterday, the foreman, would he consider hiring out to do a side job, not on the company pay, because companies, you know how much they charge. Yeah. But on the side, maybe a weekend job where you and I could help. We might could even hire Uriel to come by and help. And he could actually, on that one particular barn, wall in that north side.
Yeah.
To give us a windbreak.
I think that would be really good.
Now, if he cannot, or if he doesn't want to, then then you and I have already talked about finding a way to do a proper stall for Roman. He needs his very own fitting big boy stall or gladiator pen or whatever.
That stall's gonna have to be like 20 by 20 or 20 by 30. Like it's got to be a big stall for him.
We'll make it work. We don't want to make Rita feel sad though.
No.
But I don't think that that'll be a problem, especially on that one particular barn, because that north side wall will be the side facing the neighbor's property. So it's not going to be an eyesore.
No.
And it's not going to block our view. Now, if we put that same wall on the other barns, like we had talked about before, we're not going to be able to see from the RV. We won't be able to see what's going on inside the barns. And so I mean, I know that everyone can feel differently, and you're welcome to disagree, but we don't think the cows need that the way the horses might. So we will absolutely work on that with this fella if he's able to do it. But what I like about this guy is he's very knowledgeable. And I'll tell you what he did yesterday, Jamie, and I don't know if you was able to watch the video when I talked about it, but when I first got there, I got there before anyone to open the gates and get everything set up. But then again, I went and did my thing while they were doing theirs. But I noticed when he laid out the bottom railing, I'm like, wait, that doesn't look square to me. So what he had done was squared up that barn with the actual fencing.
Oh.
And it looked nice and squared. But when we built the fencing, we did not square the fencing with the property. We did this fencing with the driveway, which we already know is crooked. The driveway runs at an angle that kind of crisscrosses that back pasture. And so I walked over there to him and I says, hold on, sir. I says, it's important to us that this barn is squared with the other barns. And he says, but the problem is when you walk over here, you're going to see more of the fence is going to be. I says, forget the fence. We don't care about the fence. What we care about is when you come up this driveway from the road, that you see all three barns that are squared up and aligned with each other, not two sitting straight and one at an angle. And so I felt bad for him. He took a long time, but I tell you what, he got out big measuring tapes and him and his crew got to working, and they did some calculus or some trigonometry or
well, I think it's amazing that y'all have an eye for that, because I don't have that eye. I'll be the first to admit that everything that we've like built on our own back in Plum Grove, or anytime that we've done something, I do not have the same. I get it all lined up and Lester comes out and goes, you got to move that instantly. And I don't know why I don't have that, but I do not have that.
It's something called spatial reasoning, and
it's beyond spatial reasoning. It is like,
it's OCD or ADD or ADHD. There's some kind of word for the sickness that I have. It's just a sickness that I have. Okay. But I have to have things squared up. I have to.
Like, I can do it, of course, on a wall. I can see that pictures are crooked and I can balance out and do all of those things. But for whatever reason, when it's on a plane, like flat, unless I can see from above, which is funny because when we built the expansion on the raised bed garden there with my mom, I couldn't see it unless Lester flew his drone up high, and then I could see it. But looking at it like I guess down at 90 degrees, just because maybe I'm short. Maybe that's the problem.
I mean, and the thing is, we don't do the drone flights enough for it to be a big deal. But I just wanted to make sure that when we do fly a drone over, then everything looks squared up. I'm weird. It's a very weird thing that I have. I'm sorry.
I love it. I'm happy that you have it because everything looks beautiful.
I've already lost the comment, but there was I'm sure it's a sweet lady who says that you and I spend more time apart than we do together. Sometimes it works. It feels that way because of things going on at the JL property, the north, or other things happening here at JL South, or Jamie travels for work. But I promise you, we spend plenty of time together. We spend the time when it counts, y'all. We spend the time when it counts. And you can just take that to the bank. All right. Just let it go. Right?
I think this is that. So obviously we've both been married before. And when we were both married, both parties worked, and if you counted the time that you drove to work, went to work, and drove home, both of you, and then you were home together, but still had to, you still had other things going on. Like I had a kid, and at the time my ex-husband was involved in some group things with church and everything like that. I spend way more time with you than what a normal relationship is what I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's what I think. And then everyone has a different idea of what they consider quality time. But what's important to me is that we eat together and then we watch our shows together.
And we have coffee together, as like I would say 99% of the time. I still count this as having coffee together.
Yeah. And so even whenever I sleep in a different location or you sleep in a different location, I still try to make it home in time to have our coffee.
Yeah.
So, but with having both properties and having animals at both properties and things going on, sometimes workers, sometimes chores that have to be done earlier rather than later. It's just not as, if we were all on one property, it would be a little bit different. But I can assure you there's nothing weird going on that you have to worry about. And this is the first time in my life that with anything, and probably yours, as far as partners where you have spent days or nights, alone.
Yeah.
Or separated, I mean. But guys, it's a hard time. I will say this, and then I don't want to keep you. I know you got to go pretty soon. But I told my boss, Dr. Sanford, who everyone knows I've worked for all of those years, who's still a good friend of mine. We talk on occasion. And I told her, I says, listen, even during the years when I taught school and then drove a bus and coached the 2 or the 3 sports, I'm more busy now than I ever was during all of that time, because those are some long days.
Yeah.
But you still found time. But these days, and I would say for the last several years, these days are so long and there's not hardly a down moment. There's not a moment down. But I also know, and you feel the same way, that this is we're in a very short window of time with social media.
But we're also in a short time of our life. Like I take the social media out of it, to be honest with you. Like, you have no idea how many days that we have in our life, and we're well enough to do it. We're enjoying what we do. And I mean, I look at it this way. What else would we be doing?
Oh, I'd sleep more. I'd watch more TV, more football.
See, that's boring.
I know. No, I'm very content. I'm very happy, and I'm blessed. It is a blessing, because I do think that we're all going to one day look back and remember these days and miss these days. We will. And as much as we don't like to talk about it, or you can't grab my knee from over there, Jamie.
I know.
Social media is playing out. We're having a harder and harder time finding a way into your homes, into your phones. And it's not that we're doing less, or it's not anything on your end. It's the powers that be are navigating, and they're trying to form things into a different direction than what Jamie and I do. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way they see progress, I guess. But we absolutely are busy, but you know what? We're going to keep doing this as long as we can. So this morning, will you be walking, or do you have to drive? Is it too far to walk, or will you have to drive to your location of your meeting?
It's about 20 minutes to the office, depending upon traffic. So okay. I'm riding with my boss again.
Oh, great. Okay.
And the worst part was so everybody's at the airport. We all get off the flight. Everybody gets in the rental cars. We all get to the hotel, get back on the same line, whatever. And my boss is telling me, he's like, tomorrow we need to be there at 8, be down in the lobby at 8:45. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And one of the other bosses is standing behind there. He goes, do you want to leave 15 minutes earlier and go to the blah, blah, blah coffee place? He's like, we could leave one of the rental cars here and we could all ride together to go experience this coffee place. And my boss and I are both like, we'll just have hotel coffee.
Oh, well, that was kind of nice.
It was really nice.
People want a team build. You can't.
Yeah, but last time I was here, we went to this coffee place, and this is no dig at the coffee place, but that guy drives like crazy. And the coffee place was this tiny little hole in the wall, like it's in an old gas station coffee, and it was just regular coffee. So yeah. We were both like, we'll just leave together, because he's a little bit of a crazy driver. You learn that about people that you work with whenever you travel, of like who to ride with and who not to, because it can be scary.
I know you got to go, but what I want to do is read a little snippet of your text from last night to me, if you don't mind.
Which text?
I will stick to the PG text.
Okay.
And I'm just going to paraphrase the text messages. Okay. So you sent a picture that was cute. And then you said, did I feed the dogs and cats? I says, it's taken care of. And then I ask you a question about the airport. And then you say, did I put blankets on the horses? And then I say, it's only 50 degrees. I'll take care of that later. And then you say, did I see the picture of Carter? And I'm like, yes, that was cute. And then you say, have I fed the dogs and cats yet? I'm like, I fed the dogs, not the cats yet. And then you say, have I put the blankets on horses? I says, Jamie, I just told you it's only 50 degrees. I'm not doing it. And from then on, I will read no more of your messages because at that point on, oh, someone says, Lester.
Because you stopped reading them from then on.
Someone says, Lester, keep them PG. Mindy, you don't have to worry about that.
It is all PG anyway. I sent him a funny picture last night to reminisce about old times. And if you've been paying attention to our conversation for a long time, you know what picture I'm talking about.
So Jamie sent me a picture of her legs in the bathtub, which is funny. But this time her bathtub was handicap bathtub. So nothing wrong with a handicap bathtub, except there's all these bars and all these things. It looks like a scene from some kind of a bondage movie where you can chain people up. There's handles and bars and things.
There's
all
20
over
of them in this bathtub.
Yeah,
plus a bench that folds down, so like you're slid over to the other side. Like, yeah.
I almost replied with my own picture of me in the bathtub, but the water was so dirty that I'm like, no, people are going. And then I was going to post those two pictures saying, what's wrong with this picture? Because your legs are nice and pretty and in a real nice tub full of bubbles. And then my legs have one big giant kneecap where my knee's swollen and one. So these are my knees. Here's one knee like this and one knee like this. These are my two knees.
You take your pictures tonight and then you post that side by side for the people, okay?
I'm embarrassed. No, because my water was dirty and my feet were dirty because I didn't wear socks. I wore shoes, but no socks. So there's a ring around my ankles. And I'm like, there ain't no way that I'm going to post this. People already think that I'm enough of a scuzz bucket as it is. And then my knees all swollen. It's all, and my knees this big. And then the other knees like this. And I'm like, oh my God, how I look decrepit. And then
I even said for old time's sake, whenever I sent it.
And then, well, yeah, but in the old days, I never sent you pictures of my knees.
That's
I promise you that.
That's true. He did not send.
And we're going to not talk about what I would try to send pictures of. But the funny thing is also in the old days on my tub, on the end of the tub, you could only see one thing. It was my Dawn dish soap because that's what I used to bathe with. It was cheap and it was very bubbly. And I love that stuff. However, laying down in the bathtub that we both used together, here's something called chai, and
it's shampoo and conditioner.
It doesn't matter. There's all of these girly things lined up across the bottom of the bathtub and all these little scrubby things and all these fancy soaps and all this pretty stuff. And I am saying, you know what? There ain't no way I'm going to take and move all of that stuff just for a picture, a sexy picture, because there was nothing sexy about it. Okay. So it's all good. But listen, thank you for coming to us live on your travels. Thank you for having coffee with me this morning. My first cup's about gone. Not sure.
Mine's gone, and there are no more pods here, so that's tragic.
This cute lady, Rosie, says old age isn't pretty. No, ma'am, it's not, and it feels horrible. But I'll tell you what, I think that we're doing okay. It was fun and it was funny. At least I laughed at myself. But listen, you have a wonderful day. And thank you all for the folks who got on this morning to watch our live. The downfall is I have to go live again in an hour or two because I'm going to go to the JL after I feed up here, the JL North. And I'm going to watch that barn being erected. I love watching a good erection. And that was a joke. No one's laughing. I love a barn being raised, and Roman has been so good. Did you watch the videos that I posted yesterday on Roman watching the barn going up?
The ones you posted to supporters, I did watch.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and play that this morning for folks who are early enough to watch. Jamie, if you have to go, that you can. I promise you, I'm not.
I got a few more minutes.
Okay,
I'll watch with you.
Let me play this video real fast and show folks what I posted yesterday because I think it was just so beautiful. And
well, don't let Ruby in there because she'll destroy it all.
Rude, your video this morning, talk about that.
Did you watch it at all yet?
I have not watched it.
So Ruby is a wrecking ball, worse than Jolene ever was. Ruby is the true bloodline of text, like through and through.
I'm gonna fill this. I'll be right back. Keep
Okay.
talking.
And we were at the JL this weekend doing some stuff, and we turn and spin, and you just, Ruby is a wrecking ball. And I laughed so hard that it came from the depth of my chest. It was the most genuine laugh that I've had in a long time, and it just kept happening. Anyway, I captured on video. I posted it today. It's a good one if you need to cleanse your soul with some laughter. That's for sure.
And then yesterday, the guys had to go into the pasture to measure the barn, trying to make sure everything was squared up with the new barn. They had to measure the old barn, and Ruby gave them a run for their money. And there was one guy literally holding her horns, trying to hold her back, while the other guy was trying to measure. It was the funniest thing. And I'm like, that darn Ruby. I
oh
swear.
my God, they did not know that they needed hazard pay. Holy cow.
Well, before they went in, I says, hey, watch out for that red one. I says, she only plays, but she plays rough. And this one little macho fellow, he goes, I'm not scared of cows. I ride bulls. He was the one that held her. But I promise you, whenever he let go and she did that jumping, that man who rides bulls, I've never seen a guy run so fast. So he may ride bulls, but he has not dealt with a tornado like Ruby.
No, Ruby is like, it's crazy. Ruby is out of control.
You guys watch this video right quick with Jami. Now, this is a video that I recorded from one of our camera systems. I moved a camera over to watch the barn going up, and I want to keep an eye on Roman while all this was going on. Now, listen, guys, I was here. There's my truck in the distance. That's my white truck. But I videoed and recorded this using the camera. So watch this.
He's so unbothered by those guys working like that, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, that was powerful.
And the fact that he doesn't even, number one, he wasn't up in their business. He knew his space, but he never flinched.
No, so there's even one more shorter one I want to show you all as well. And I'm pretty sure that you saw it, Jami. But you're right. I did post these for the supporters of the page because they are, in fact, the folks who are helping pay for all of this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even the folks who help with watching the videos and putting it with the annoying ads, all of that helps so much. But Roman surprised me because you and I both know he's a bit skittish.
A little bit.
There might be a better word to use.
He's a little spooky.
He's a little bit spooked, and we understand why, y'all. He's been through a lot with the transport and being loaded and hauled for so many hours, and who knows what types of things he's seen in his life. And Jami and I laughing about how wonderful he is to us, but we know that he probably has come from, maybe there's been some things in his past that we've noticed. And then Jami can talk about if she wants to, but there are some things that scare him, that terrify him. You want to talk about a few of those things right quick?
Anything that looks like,
I don't want to make you late.
Anything that looks like a whip or a carrot stick or a flag, he is terrified of. Like, it is his trigger. And I know that we'll work on some of those things and overcome some of those things. And I've been watching videos on how to, but it makes me really sad to know his past through his triggers.
Yeah, so there are some things that when Roman sees them from a distance, he's scared. You can see the fear in him. His body shows it. And so we were very unsure about what was going to happen yesterday. And whereas the guys sent word that they will not work in that pasture with those bulls, I get that. We all know how the bulls can be mischievous and get into stuff. But I was ready to move Roman when they got there. And when the guys pulled in, I says, can I leave the horse? And he says, he goes, that's fine. And I says, just don't leave anything laying around. Like when y'all leave, don't leave metal laying around. And he goes, no, we'll leave it in the trailer. So he said, leave the horse. And, but even though he said I could leave the horse, I was watching, and Roman kept his distance, and he was not at all spooked. Watch this next video though, real fast. I won't keep you much longer. And this is very amazing to me. Oh, did I not upload it yet? Give me 1 second to upload it. Except,
do you know who you couldn't have left in that pasture?
Who? Tex, Ruby, Waylon,
Rita.
who?
Rita. You could have never in a million years left Rita in that pasture, because she is like a little kid. She's got to be involved in everything.
Yeah.
Whenever I was hanging the misters up this summer in the other barn, she was like up against the ladder, like trying to eat my pants off of there. She knocked my phone off. Like, and it's not because she's being bad. It's just that she is a like people horse. Not that any of our horses don't love people and don't love interaction. She just like has a very different upbringing, I think, than the rest.
Okay, so let me give a little bit of a preface to this video first. Now, I hated the fact that we had so much going on the same day. But guys, these guys are all on a time schedule because we do have rain coming. So the dirt guys could only bring dirt today. And or yesterday. It was our only chance to get dirt, even though the barn was being built. And I made sure the barn guys were okay with it. But I want you to watch, if you can, the noise that this truck makes. But watch Roman off in the distance. Guys, we have a lot going on here all at the same time. There is so much going on. We got dirt being brought in for the base clay for our barn. All at the same time, we got fellas over here working, which is crazy. We got a lot going on. And look how good Roman's being. He's like, okay, it's okay. That was amazing. He did so good at that. Guys, I'm so impressed. Roman is being so good. He's not letting any of the noises of all this construction bother him. Hey, bud, easy. Oh, my goodness. I'm so very proud of you. Can I love you?
Can Roman hear?
He's like, Dad, there's a lot going on. Oh, Roman can absolutely hear. Guys, here's an example. A couple of days ago, whenever I walked to the pasture and I offered him carrots and apples and he would not eat them, I simply took those carrots and apples and I dropped them into his food bowl, and just it spooked him, and he jumped and flinched and made a couple of loops around. So I know he can hear, but I think that he's becoming very settled. And then there were people yesterday on that particular video that I posted, and they were saying that maybe Roman has been around workers or people working for a whole lot of his life, as far as the Amish working things go. So maybe he's not bothered by things like that. He probably wanted to help work, somebody said. So I don't know. But I'll tell you this, Roman is an amazing character. We are so blessed to have come into contact with him. There's a lot in his past that we've not unraveled yet, that I think that he still has boxed up, that I think only probably comes out in his nightmares. And we're trying to just let that part of him go. But Jamie and I are making sure that we just try to always keep him in mind in everything. And like I said, I was ready to move him, but they were completely fine with him staying. And he did a wonderful, wonderful job.
I think that he enjoyed being around the work, watching him be so attentive and relaxed. So like if you watch his demeanor through that, he was just very much like, this is where I belong. This is very normal. He was not stressed and pacing. And I feel like that made him feel really at home, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, there's like a lot of puzzle pieces, like Jami said, there are things that we notice that scare the hell out of him that have probably been something, maybe a type of, maybe, I don't want to say abusive, but maybe things that he just cannot and does not want to relive. And there's other things that surprise the heck out of us that he's able to handle and with such ease.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that if all goes well, his barn, his Coliseum will be finished today, hopefully by about noon. And then I'll get in there and get that dirt all spread out for him. And then hopefully we can get that sand delivered before the rains come, so we can have not only his 4 or 5 inch layer of clay, a good base, but another inch or two of sand that will give him a really nice surface to stand on, walk on, help with his hooves a whole lot. And then we'll get his water moved in, and then we can start planning some kind of a stall. So, and then of course, as everyone knows, in a week or so, after he finishes his quarantine, then we'll be introducing our sweet Rita. Last thing, how mad were you with me last night when I refused to go put blankets on them darn horses? Just, you can say it if you want to.
I just knew that I already knew in my heart that it wasn't going to happen. So it's okay.
Well, I just tell you, Jami, I mean, even when I walked out this morning to pee, we have 2 bathrooms, but I have to go outside. It's the call of the wild, and I still feel those calls. No, it's cold, but it's not that cold. It's not like a bitter cold. Remember a couple of mornings ago, whenever I was freezing cold, and it wasn't the temperatures were cold necessarily, but it was a wet and damp, and it went right through us. It's a dry cold. It's a dry cold. So it's chilly, but dry. And I just felt like if I had to go out there wearing a jacket, I think that I might start sweating. And I even told you yesterday that, Jami, I'm out there doing the chores and I'm sweating. And I know that it gets coldish around the 4 a.m. time. And I know you will wake up at 4 a.m. and go out there and put on blankets. But I'm sorry, my medication does not allow that. Okay. So
give them some extra green hay this morning, please.
I will do that. Anyway, I know you got to get going.
I do.
Thank you for joining us this morning for coffee. And we love you. And we hope you have a fun day. It's going to be long, but
it'll be long for you too. I mean, that's at the end of the day, it's I work longer hours at home, but it's the sitting still for that long that just about kills me. So
yeah. Oh, I get it. I absolutely get it. Well, and then does your boss have a rule about put your phones down, or do y'all at your job, are y'all professional enough to leave your phones away during presentations?
There are no electronics out during the presentations or during the whole day.
One thing I used to hate the most about having to present to teachers is there was no couth. Teachers had no cool, and you'd be up there presenting and everyone's over there.
Oh no. No, there are no phones out. Everything is put away in the bags, no computers, nothing. And even your notebooks that you are used, like we all live and breathe the notebook pretty much. You do not even bring your old notebooks because you don't want to be caught like flipping back through and being distracted by that. So you are handed a pad of paper that's fresh and clean for the meeting. So there are no distractions.
And then everyone knows that you doodle a lot. What people probably don't know about you is about the tape. Now, I'm going to say something, and I don't mean to embarrass you. I should probably go get it. Can I just go get it?
No, you can't, actually.
So, guys, I don't know why Jami does this, but
I'm a fidgeter. You're a fidgeter in a different way.
I will not show this. We already got banned for showing.
Yeah, we got banned for that.
But Jami will take tape. She keeps these things of tape. Y'all think that I have all these weird quirks about me, but Jami keeps rolls of tape all over the place, and for no reason she does this.
It's a fidgeter. I'm a fidgeter.
So here I am sleeping last night, and I feel that I'm sticky. I'm like, I'm so sticky. Why am I so sticky? and I reach down between my legs and I pull something up, and here's this wound up roll of tape, a tape ball. And Jami makes these rolls up pieces of tape, and she leaves them all over the place. They're in my truck, they're in the bed, they're everywhere. And you don't see them because it's clear, transparent tape. And I'm like, oh, Lord. So I don't know why, but whereas most people find other things to fidget with during sleepy time, not Jami. She gets rolls of tape to fidget with. I don't get that for anything. But so just know that we think about you even when you're not here.
I actually used that to get the cat hair off of this suit jacket yesterday, Lester.
Stop lying. Stop lying. I know about those kind of things that you do. That's this kind of pat. No, this is you fidgeting and leaving.
Oh, there was one of those yesterday too, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, they're all over the darn place. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Gotta go. Love you.
Have a fun day. We love you too.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, sweetie. Friends, thank you all for watching this morning. We will get started here. I'm going to go ahead and go on out and do all the chores here. It's not quite daylight yet, but it's time enough. This is the time that Jami normally gets up and gets everything fed up. Like I said, morning chores are always easier. It's just hay and refill water. And then I will also be headed over to the JL this morning. I should be there by 8, I believe. And if anyone who wants to join at 8 can come back, and I'll be going live over there, just showing you progress on the barn, checking on the cows. And of course, we will say hi to our Roman. Thank you all for watching. We love you so much. Blessed to have you. Thank you for keeping us in your prayers as Jami travels. And I'm here to hold down the fort. All right. You guys have a fun day. And we will catch you guys on the next one.
Survivor. I'm a survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor. I'm a survivor.